This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing coming straight up out of that DMV. You know what it is. This that Baltimore designer right here. Come on now, come and show some love and show some support. Go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com, and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When you first get into a relationship, it's very important to watch, listen, and observe. Meaning, when you meet a person and think you are feeling them and like everything about them, you have to look past that initial mask that everybody wears in the beginning to make you feel comfortable and to get you to let your guards down and really figure out who is the individual I'm dealing with. Some people have mastered the art of listening to the opposite sex, hearing exactly what they are looking for and presenting themselves in that manner. But of course, a front can only last so long before eventually true colors come out. For some people, once they see red flags and realize you are not the person they thought you was, they get out of there. But others give people the benefit of the doubt. They might even go as far as not only keeping the relationship going, but living with a person that shows they have an on and off switch, or even further, taking the steps of marriage. At that point, once somebody has finessed you so much into believing them that you ignored everything they have showed you with their actions, they know they got you right where they want you at. And it's easy to become a prisoner in your own relationship. It's an old saying, once somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Because for some people, the second time might be too late. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing a case of a possessive husband who attempted to take his wife's life after he felt he was losing control. Back in 2021, 36-year-old Roderick Johnson was navigating life in Baltimore, but Roderick had a co-pilot with him to help him with his journey. The 36-year-old woman, who we'll call Toya for the sake of this story, had been with Roderick for a little minute, and they decided to jump the brim and get married. In the beginning, everything was all well. Roderick seemed to have a little bit of a temper problem, but growing up and living in Baltimore will sometimes have anybody on edge. The couple shared the home in Southwest Baltimore in the 700 block of Leonard Street, right off of Harlem Avenue. As time went on, Roderick showed he was standing on that sign, until death do us apart, telling his wife, if you break my heart, I will take your life, and text messages also to her face. Roderick eventually wanted to monitor Toya, ask her where she was going, who she was calling on her phone, even expressing his dislike for some of her friends, who she knew for years. He had went through her phone multiple times, telling her to cut a person off, and if she refused to, he accused her of cheating or having an affair, before taking the phone or breaking it, to the point she went through multiple phones every other month. She was now seeing another side of Roderick, the controlling side. As months went by, his paranoia in the relationship got worse. Friends and family would often see the couple argue, even out in public, but everybody felt maybe they liked the toxic situation they was in and minded their own business. But on November 4th, 2021, things would go left. It was at the midnight into the next morning when Roderick and Toya once again got into an argument about her phone. Also other things. This time, a few drinks was involved though. After going back and forth and feeling like Toya wasn't taking heed to what he was saying, Roderick upped the gun and shot her. After feeling the sharp pain, she realized her husband was trying to take her life. She came to her senses and ran out the house, yelling for help, but that didn't stop Roderick, and he ran behind her, before soon letting off more shots, striking Toya until she fell. Then in the middle of the block, he stood over her, shooting until he thought she was gone. Then he fled the area. Neighbors who heard the commotion called BPD, who responded to the location to find Toya shot all over her body, even once in the head. She was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition, but somehow she was still alive and able to speak and told police exactly what happened to her. Her husband shot her after a fight, but Roderick was gone. Due to his past convictions, he was labeled armed and dangerous and put on the Maryland's most wanted list. While on the run, his wife was in a hospital fighting for her life. After multiple surgeries, she suffered some brain damage, but miraculously, Toya pulled through. A reward was put out for Roderick, but it wouldn't be until a few months later someone called the tip line after spotting him at a grocery store. Police moved in and Roderick was taken into custody. He was charged with attempted first-degree murder. No gun was ever found, and he never spoke on the situation. As the case started making its way to trial, the only witness was Toya. She took the stand and let everybody know what her husband did to her and how controlling he was. She said when she decided to stand up for herself, he snapped and tried to take her life. She stated all she could do was look up as the man who claimed he loved her now had her fighting bullets as he kept shooting. Thinking she was not alive no more, he stopped and ran. Prosecutors pointed to the fact Roderick probably thought he could get away with it because the block they lived on wasn't a stranger to shooting and violence. But he didn't factor in Toya might survive the incident. They showed texts from her phone from Roderick saying, "If you break my heart, I will take your life." His lawyer argued no weapon was ever found, DNA or fingerprints, but his wife and victim of the crime was all the state needed. And in December of this year, 38-year-old Roderick was found guilty on the attempt, reckless endangerment for chasing Toya, shooting into the block, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. He was given a life sentence as the judge showed no mercy. Even though Toya fortunately survived, she is left with permanent damage, mentally and physically, from the situation. I pray she can heal through the trauma, live on, and maybe even love again, not letting this event take her joy and power. I often read in our comments how people say, "See, that's why I'm single, alone, not married," after we do a story like this. And as a man that believes in loving a woman and the power of the family, it's a sad thing because not everybody is on the same type of time. Yeah, unfortunately, it is some men and women that feel like if you don't submit to them and operate how they want you to, they will try to hurt you or take your life. I never understood an individual trying to control another person. I was taught early on, if somebody doesn't want to be with you or be kept, let them go. You can't force love. And in Roderick's situation, the same thing you was trying to stop from happening, losing control, you eventually lost anyway because you can't do nothing with a life sentence. That's exactly why I said I hope his wife is living a good life, because the worst thing you can do with a control freak is let them know that they won or they are still in control by being scared to live or dead again. It's somebody out there that speaks everybody's love language. So keep y'all eyes open, but don't be scared to love. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Fortunately, ain't nobody lose their life in this situation. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, fam, I ain't going to talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.